Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Walker with Medical Device Academy, and this is going to be a very brief introductory video on what is a gap analysis. In this video, I'm going to very quickly touch on the what, who, why, and when of what a gap analysis report is. The first, most obvious question is what exactly is a gap analysis? And unfortunately, the answer to that question depends on context. And that's because there's no universally adopted standard for what a gap analysis is or how to perform one. The dictionary definition is a technique that businesses use to determine what steps need to be taken in order to move from its current state to its desired future state. And unfortunately, for our very narrow medical regulatory affairs niche, this only loosely fits what we need. That's why I often suggest this might be more appropriately called a compliance assessment, or more formally, the Compliance Assessment Gap Analysis Report. Now, what exactly is that? The gap analysis is going to be a formally documented review that compares current processes and procedures against a known regulatory constant. And when I say regulatory constant, I'm referring to either currently active or future laws, regulations, standards, adopted good practices. An example would be ISO 13485. If you start your gap analysis report comparing your procedures against ISO 13485 2016, you're going to finish your report using the 2016 version of that standard. So whatever you start your report with, you finish your report with. Now, who should be doing a compliance assessment? Because this is medical regulatory affairs, this is going to be your medical device manufacturers, distributors, importers, anyone that might be labeled an economic operator, your clinical research sites, your contract research organizations, biocompatibility testing labs, contract sterilizers, anybody that has a quality system that's held to a regulatory standard. Now, why should these people be doing compliance assessments? Well, they do the gap analysis does two things, and those are the reasons you should be doing them. First is because they document compliance in a traceable manner. The second reason is just the opposite, and this is probably what's more commonly thought of when you hear gap analysis, is that it documents the areas of non-compliance in a traceable manner. And that's important because if you're dealing with a quality system, when an area of non-compliance or non-conformance is identified and documented, it's going to initiate your CAPA process in order to force you to change it to bring it into compliance. And the gap analysis is that initial documentation of where the area of non-compliance has been identified. So when should you be performing a gap analysis? I say whenever at the top of the slide, and that's kind of a lackadaisical approach. What I really mean is compliance assessments should be part of your regularly scheduled audit activities. They won't replace an audit, but they can certainly be a tool to assist with an audit. You should be doing a gap analysis anytime regulations change, and they are very regularly evolving and adapting new ideas. Technology changes, regulations change with it, and your quality system needs to adapt to those changes. You should also be doing a compliance assessment when your processes have changed. Now, because this is a formal review of your processes and procedures against the regulations or standards or laws, Anytime either of those change, you should really be using the gap analysis as a verification tool to make sure that your system is still in compliance. So, I promised this was going to be a very short video and an introductory look at what is a gap analysis. And this is part of an upcoming training that we're developing. And that's going to be our course for regulatory affairs and quality system managers on how to do a gap analysis for your quality system. So please keep in touch and follow our website, medicaldeviceacademy.com, for updates on when our new training course will become available. And you can reach us by phone, email, Skype, or Calendly at any of the links provided below. Thank you very much.